78 Fight News here. I want to do a quick video on the legacy of Floyd Mayweather Jr., his place in boxing history. Where does he rank in my top 20 of all-time greatest fighters? Also, I want to touch on the ducking issue in boxing real quick. Some people will have you believe, as I've been hearing for about a year now, a lot of people saying that, you know, this era of fighters does not measure up to the fighters of old. The fighters of old were tougher. The fighters of old were better. They were, you know, fine. Okay, I'll give you that they were tougher. They had to fight more frequently. Okay, but I wouldn't say that the fighters of old were necessarily better, because we don't know that any of these all-time great fighters at welterweight would have been able to measure up and beat Floyd Mayweather Jr., especially in this era, if we were to take them and fight by today's rules. Now, at the same time, we don't know if Floyd Mayweather would have been able to go back and fight with those smaller gloves, because he has those hand issues. Now, I'm going to basically make my case. I have Sugar Ray Leonard at my number 10 as my top 10 greatest fighters of all time. But I'm going to put Floyd in my top 10 at this point. And the reason why I'm going to put him in my top 10 is because I had to be honest with myself and ask myself this question. Am I simply denying this man his place in history because I'm stuck in the past? Because I'm stuck on those fighters that I grew up watching or grew up hearing so much about, that I want to deny Floyd his place in boxing history? I had to be honest with myself, and I had to look at the flaws of some of these all-time greats and then compare them to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now, the first person I want to talk about is Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran is considered by most people a top 10, at least a top 20, but I have Roberto Duran in my top 10 as one of the greatest fighters of all time. Roberto Duran, though very impressive, very heavy-fisted, no denying he's one of the greatest fighters of all time, but we cannot deny that Roberto Duran did quit in a fight. He did say no mas. I don't want any more of this nonsense from Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay, he did, and he's still considered one of the greatest. And he lost a rematch to Sugar Ray Leonard. Fine, right? Nothing wrong with losing a fight. He lost to Hagler. Okay, he lost to Tommy Hearns. So he's still considered one of the greatest fighters of all time. Fine, right? Nothing wrong with that. Let's look at Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson, no question, one of the greatest fighters of all time. I have Sugar Ray Robinson as the number 1 on my list, the greatest fighter of all time. Now, it's been said by historians that Sugar Ray Robinson ducked Charlie Burley, and he wasn't the only one. Everybody did. You know, Charlie Burley had a 14-year career and never got a title shot. Okay, with a record of like 84 and what was it? 84 and I can't even remember. But Charlie Burley never got a title shot. Everybody ducked him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was 84 and 12. Sugar Ray Robinson ducked the shit out of Charlie Burley. I heard Jake LaMotta ducked him. Archie Moore called Charlie Burley the greatest fighter he ever faced. Charlie Burley even fought Ezra Charles. This is a man never got a title shot. Sugar Ray Robinson was quoted as saying that I'm too pretty to fight Charlie Burley. Now, Sugar Ray Robinson is not remembered for ducking Charlie Burley. He's remembered for the things that he accomplished in the ring. He's not remembered for the things he did outside the ring, being a womanizer, gambler, a beater, wife beater. He wasn't remembered for none of that. He's remembered for what he did in the ring. So why are we holding Floyd Mayweather to this higher standard? Why are we denying this man his place in boxing history simply because he outmatches everybody he gets in the ring with? Now, I guarantee you that if Floyd had been in more scuffles, had he been knocked down, lost a fight, and came back and got a revenge win, people would look at him differently, because that's what we've been taught makes a great fighter. To beat the odds, to be the underdog and win. That's why we look at Bernard Hopkins the way we do. Call him great because he beats the odds, does things he's not supposed to do. But Floyd simply outmatches everybody he gets in the ring with, and we holding that against him, much like people did to Roy Jones Jr. In the decade that he beasted everybody. Now let's get to Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm going to show some clips because, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, no doubt about it, one of the greatest fighters of all time. But Sugar Ray Leonard was the ducking machine. A ducking machine, okay? Sugar Ray Leonard ducked the shit out of Aaron Pryor. That's a fact. Everybody knows this. He ducked Aaron Pryor. He ducked Marvin Hagler for a long time, for about 5 years. But he's still remembered as a great fighter, one of the greatest. So my question to everybody is, why are we holding Floyd Mayweather Jr. to these high standards? Why are we denying him his place in history? Oh, he has to fight Pacquiao. Let's be honest. Even if he fights Pacquiao and destroys Pacquiao, there's still going to be people out there who don't want to consider him among the elite of all time. You know that. The man got to do everything. He got to beat Pacquiao. He got to beat Amir Khan. He got to beat Sergio Martinez. He got to beat Vladimir Klitschko. He got to do all this just to be in the top 10. I mean, come on. I'm putting Floyd in my top 10 right now because I can no longer deny this man's talent. I can no longer deny what this man has done in the ring. Fuck what he's done outside the ring. What he's done in the ring. 42 victories. Undefeated. Okay? And his victories are coming from like 41 different opponents. His 42 victories. He's not fighting guys over and over again like they did back in the day. Padding their records like Pacquiao is still doing today. Fighting Marquez for a third time. Name one person Floyd fought 3 times. He fought Castillo twice, only because it was a controversial decision the first time. But back in those days, people fought each other 5, 6 times, you know what I'm saying? And they padded their records, beating up on the same people. This man, you can't deny Floyd Mayweather's greatness, man. It's time to give it up to this man. He ain't got to beat Pacquiao for me to put him in my top 10. Not if I'm going to, I can't do that and then justify Sugar Ray Leonard being in my top 10 when he ducked a great fighter like Aaron Pryor. He ducked Marvin Hagler for a long time. I can't justify that and keep Roberto Duran in my top 10 when he quit in the ring. When times got hard, when he got tested, he quit. I can't justify that in when Sugar Ray Robinson ducked Charlie Burley, which is why I have Charlie Burley in my top 10 greatest fighters, because he never had a title shot out of 84 victories, 50 knockouts. Everybody ducked him. So y'all can check out these clips and let me know what y'all think. Somebody got to move around. I'm going to redo my top 10 because Floyd got to get in. He going to be in my number 10 spot. I had him at 11. I'm putting him in number 10 because I think we fall too much into this worshiping of the olden days. You know, old school NBA players was better than... Somebody was arguing me about that. Oh, if Bill Russell played today, in the NBA, Bill Russell would do this and he would do... Man, Bill Russell played in the NBA in a time where the average center was like 6 foot tall or some shit. I mean, no disrespect to Bill Russell. He's a legend, Hall of Fame. But you know what I'm saying. Sometimes we get caught up into shit was so good way back when. Okay? Now, y'all check these clips out. That's my 2 cents. Holla.
Who do you want to fight next?
I want to fight Leonard because I feel like I'm the king of the junior welterweights for what I've already done.
A bout with Sugar Ray Leonard offered the surest path to a world-class payday, but Pryor's challenges were repeatedly dismissed.
I had just been asked that you want to challenge me, and that you knock me down, and I knock you down. And
we've had workouts when we were amateur. Actually knocked the guy as a pro and an amateur. What do you know? He knows me.
Me and Leonard, you know, I worked with him for flat 3 or 4 before he became Mr. Leonard. And
there was a little rivalry there, always was. But I know one thing, whenever they'd be in the ring working out, Aaron used to give him a working over.
I just beat the #1 contender in my weight division. I ain't got nothing to prove there. So why not come up?
This is my show, pal. Go ahead. Any other questions, please?
I want to fight. I want to fight. I beat Tommy Hearns.
Aaron Pryor was being shortchanged by history.
Could only mean one thing.
We figured that he'd let us down to make the official announcement to the world that he was going to challenge Marvin Hagler.
And as I stand here, in 1 second, I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do.
And we sat there with that anticipation as Leonard led us down the primrose path.
To Marvin Hagler, a fight with this great man, this great champion, could be one of the greatest fights in the history of boxing.
And when we got to the end of the primrose path, he cut off our head.
But unfortunately, it'll never happen. Thank you, and God bless you all.